He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Gadget Professor. My name is Don Baine and of course I am the Gadget Professor. Well, it's September 5th and we are on episode 121. I'd like to welcome everybody and we have a very cool episode. I have finally got my hands on something that I've ordered about 2 months ago and we finally got it in a day or two ago, and it is called the Google Chromecast, and very interesting piece of machinery, if you will, and we're going to take an in-depth look at this, so you want to stay tuned for that. If you're new to the Gadget Professor, I'd like to welcome you, and if you're an old-time Gadget Professor viewer, we're going a little bit over 2 years now, I'd like to welcome everybody back. Of course, the easiest way to get to the Gadget Professor is just go on my webpage. That would be thegadgetprofessor.com, thegadgetprofessor.com, and on the webpage you can subscribe to the web show anytime you want just by going to this little brown box and clicking the Gadget Professor, and that will get you automatically downloaded our RSS feed every Thursday night when we come up with a new episode. The Gadget Professor is now heard in 165 countries around the world, so we thank you so much for your viewership. Also, I mention all the time, you want to get the newsletter. That's easy to get. Just go on the gadgetprofessor.com webpage and click down right around a little bit halfway down right before the actual video, and you will see a little newsletter word there. Just click on that. It's hot linked, and that will actually subscribe you to the show notes. All you have to do is put in your email address. It's totally free. Every Thursday evening, as soon as the Gadget Professor posts his episode on that big server up in the sky, you will automatically receive the show notes. And essentially what the show notes is a hot link via your email to every URL that we talk about, and we go through a lot of URLs, a lot of cool stuff each week, and every week we try to bring you a new gadget and something new in the industry, a new product, and also some free software apps that you will find useful. And of course you can watch the Gadget Professor right on the gadgetprofessor.com, or you can go to any glass surface, the Roku box, the Boxy box, Samsung TV, your iPad, your iPod, your Android phone, your Android tablet, whatever it is, whatever glass surface that's out there, you can easily get the Gadget Professor. That's a simple thing to do these days. Now, you also can keep in touch with us by emailing me at any point in time, 24 hours a day, at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. That would be thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. And if you have a comment on the show or a suggestion for a review, don't hesitate to write me. I do answer all my email. And also, if you have a product or know a manufacturer that has a product and you'd like to appear on the Gadget Professor Show, again, you can reach me at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. Now, we also have our Facebook page, and we try to keep that updated, and that's real easy. Just go to Facebook.com/The Gadget Professor. And also, when we finish an episode, when we just get ready to post it on Thursday, I will alert you via Facebook if you follow us. And of course, my favorite page has always been Rebel Mouse. You can follow me on Rebel Mouse/Gadget Professor. That's just Gadget Professor. This page is really cool. I tweet probably 70 times a day. As I mentioned, we have several people that help us, and you can reach us at Twitter, just real simple, at Gadget Professor. And if you like to follow us on Twitter, you'll definitely want to follow us on Rebel Mouse. What Rebel Mouse does, essentially, the Gadget Professor's page on Rebel Mouse, it takes every new gadget that comes out within the hour and actually shows you a visualization of all those tweets that we've been doing. So this is really something that is a lot of fun. I look at the page because it's easier for me just to look at this and see what's coming up that's new. Also, you might want to catch something that I posted on the Rebel Mouse page, is this little video I took in Grand Central Station, and it's a 360. It's kind of neat, And I was in New York last week. We saw some theater, and that was a lot of fun. So check the Gadget Professor out, his Rebel Mouse page. And again, that will be right in the show notes. So all you have to do is click on it, and it's as simple as that. So we're going to start off the show with some cool gadgets that are coming around and some free software, and we'll get right into that. The first one that I'm going to review shortly is called Dropcam. They've been around for a while, and these are high definition cameras that essentially you can put in any room, and it will give you a high definition viewing experience with two-way sound of your home or your business, wherever you decide to put these cameras. The quality is excellent, and they're fairly easy to hook up. You can hook them up via Wi-Fi or via a Ethernet hard connection. And if you want to go on the Dropcam website, which would be dropcam.com, they actually have featured websites, and you can click on them and actually see the quality that comes with these Dropcams. They sell for $149-ish, and I do plan to do a full review of those in the next couple weeks. So you want to check out Dropcam. Very, very cool things. In fact, we may even put a Dropcam in our studio. We'll see. For all you music lovers out there, people aren't probably aware of this, but you can go to freegalmusic.com and put in a library, and you can get free music there, music videos, popular releases, and new releases, and you can borrow them for free just by checking out FreeGal. And for you classical folks out there, and I don't know how many people who listen to the Gadget Professor enjoy classical music. I like it at certain times, but here's a free site called Classical Cat that has all kinds of totally free classics out there, and it has brass band, cello, chamber music, choir, clarinet, flute, guitar, so on and so forth, orchestra, organ, piano, singer, violin, opera, religious. So it's a totally free site, and there's some interesting things on there. You want to check that out. I was asked this question last week. I got an email, Gadget Professor, do you know of any genealogy software out there that's free? So I did a little checking, and there's a website called Plex Software, and this is totally free, and they give you two different choices in terms of software. One is called My Family Tree, and I don't remember what the other one is called. Here, Gedcom Validator. So both of those are actually free, and you might want to check those out if you're interested in doing a little genealogy search. Another free program that we're going to show to you this week is called Antibody Software. Have you ever been on your Windows machine and wonder where all your disk file space has gone, like what's soaking up all the gigabytes that you have? Well, this is for you. This is Antibody Software. This is totally free. It's called WizTree. And what WizTree does is it finds the files and folders that are using the most disk space on your hard drive. This is totally free, and it gives you a great, easy to follow graphic. And you should check that out. It's really cool. And last but not least, this is a device that I've had my eye on since they announced it. This was put out by a company called Zoom. I have a Zoom H4n that we use for audio recording in the field, and it's an outstanding device. Well, of course, nothing stays new for a long time in this business, so they have just come out with an H6 Zoom model. And my jaw dropped when I saw this piece of machinery. It's quite nice, and I believe they're finally in stock. I will be doing a review. I don't know when. I don't own one yet. I don't even know if there's any to be had. But we are checking in with the manufacturers to see if we can get a release of a demo unit to put on the Gadget Professor Show and to try to run it through its paces. But this has interchangeable heads. It's great for recording bands or interviews, like for a podcast or a lecture or things like that. It records everything digitally, and there's multiple channels. You can do editing on it. It's quite the piece of machinery. The cost of this right now is about $400. I don't think they're discounting it anywhere because it's such a popular item. I don't even think they can keep them in stock. So we'll keep our eye on that, and someday I hope to be bringing you a review of that, and I will have a smile on my face. And saying a smile on my face, this next gadget, the Chromecast key, this brought a smile on my face when I got it. The expected delivery date was actually in October, and I just found it in the mailbox actually 2 days ago, so I spent most of yesterday trying to figure out how it works, running it through its paces. So let's take a close-up view now of this device called Chromecast. So let's take a close-up look at the Chromecast. Here's the box that it comes in. Packaging is everything. Nice little picture on the back. Basically, this slides open, and we open this up, and lo and behold, you'll have 3 objects in this, which I'll show you in a second. But first, let's take a look at the instruction sheet that came with it. Apparently, there was a shortage of paper at Google the day they made these things, but this is your instruction book, and if you can read that, good luck to you. But there it is. There's your instruction book. And the 3 components that came with the Chromecast kit are as follows. Here is your Chromecast stick, if you will. And there are basically 2 things you need to know about this. One, this is an HDMI jack, not a USB. It's HDMI. And the other side actually takes power, which I'll show you in a second. There also is, I'd like to call your attention to, a small LED light. When you first plug it in, it goes red, then pretty much instantly it goes white, which indicates that it's receiving power. Now, as far as power goes, we'll get to that in a second. They also come with, it also comes with an extender. This is an HDMI extender. One end obviously is an HDMI male plug, and the other end is a female plug. This is not actually a long extension, it's quite short. This does 2 things. The width of this may be tricky to get into some TV sets, some television sets. So what they do is they provide this extender, and let's get that orientation correct. So that plugs in like that, and then this piece is not as wide here, so it's going to be easier to get in pretty much any input jack, HDMI input jack that you would have on your TV set. So that's what it looks like. Now the other end, as I said, receives power. So it does come with a little power supply and a cord. One end of the cord is just a standard USB, which would plug into your power supply, and the other end is I guess a micro HDMI jack that actually supplies the power to the Chromecast stick. Now, that's pretty simple, but what's kind of, I guess, interesting is, if you will, is that you don't have to use this power pack, this USB power pack. If you have a USB jack on the back of your TV set, you can plug this into that, and it will supply the Chromecast stick with power. So you have your choice. You can either use the power supply that comes with it and plug it into an outlet, or if you have a USB connector on your TV set, you can use that for the power. So a lot of people don't realize that this device needs power. It does. So that said, it's pretty straightforward. What you're going to do once you plug this in, and we'll get into that, is 2 things. The first thing you will do is you will hook it up to the Wi-Fi, and it's as simple as can be. The second thing that you would do is this comes with an ID number. As soon as you load your what's called the Chromecast extension, this pops up with a code, whatever it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, whatever, and you'll actually enter that code, and that essentially locks this unit into your Wi-Fi, of course, with your username and password to get on the Wi-Fi. So we'll take another look at that. Now, I have behind me a TV set which I am going to plug this into. So once again, this will go into any jack, any HDMI jack on the TV, and again, you're going to supply power either through the power pack or through the USB cord. Now, the other thing that you're allowed to do is you can actually name this device. It comes up as, I think it's Chromecast, but you have the ability to go in and call this living room, kitchen, TV, whatever you want to call it, probably wherever your TV is located. I called mine Gadget Professor because that's what I called it. But if you have 7 of these sticks, you can call one for each room that you have, living room, kitchen, dining room, whatever. So you do have the ability to name it, and you will actually see that on the little applet, the little icon that says Google Cast or Chromecast. So let's take a look at how this actually works. Well, the Chromecast device is pretty simple in structure. I've showed you what it looks like mechanically speaking, but Chromecast essentially is the easiest way to enjoy online video and music on your TV. Sit back and watch together. With Chromecast, you can easily enjoy your favorite online entertainment on your HDTV. movies, TV shows, music, and more from Netflix, YouTube, Google Play, and Chrome. No more huddling around small screens and tiny speakers. Chromecast automatically updates to work with a growing number of apps. So right now behind me you see the screen, and essentially I have plugged in the Chromecast to an empty HDMI port. I have plugged the other end into the power pack, and you may or may not be able to see the little light blinking, which is actually right here. Now, to set the Chromecast key up is a very simple procedure. Essentially, all you're going to do is follow the instructions. It's real easy. You're going to plug the Chromecast key in, and it's as simple as 1, 2, 3, and essentially it's going to give you, as soon as it comes up on your screen, it's going to say set me up, and it's going to give you a code. In this particular case, it's H9E8, H9E8. So what you're going to do is you have the ability now, it's called Chromecast, but you can call it Don's TV or Mo's TV or living room or dining room or whatever you want to call it. I called mine the Gadget Professor. And you essentially will then put in your password, which in this case is H9E8 because it comes right up on the screen. And essentially once you put that in, it now will recognize itself, and prior to that you're just hooking it up on the Wi-Fi, and it's the same routine as any device that you're hooking up to the Wi-Fi. It's going to recognize what Wi-Fi channel you want. You're going to select the Wi-Fi channel, you're going to put in the password, and boom, you're connected. So the first two things you'll do obviously is connect it to the Wi-Fi network, and then the second thing you'll do is put in its code, which it gives you, so they can essentially sync together. That's all there is. Now, here's the fun part. You need to download on your Chrome browser, and let's assume you're on your laptop or on your desktop, you need to download the Chromecast extension, which is totally free. And also, if you're going to be on your tablet, whatever the tablet may be, you also want to download the Chromecast extension on that. And again, it's free. You can go to the Google Play Store or the iTunes Store and load that onto your browser, essentially. Now, I have a Nexus tablet here, a Nexus 7, which I'll show you in a minute. I also have the Galaxy S3 phone, and I have added the app onto my phone also. So it's just called the Chromecast app. Now, in the beginning, when we first started looking this over on the web page, really the main three things that this is going to operate with is right here: Netflix, YouTube, the Google Play Store, and you have to have your Chrome browser. It won't work on any other browser. End of story. But that's not necessarily bad. Now, I don't have a Netflix account, but I do have a YouTube account. So if I were going to go to YouTube, and in fact I'm going to do this on my phone, and what I'll do is here's my Galaxy, and I am going to click YouTube here, and I don't really care what I'm going to watch. YouTube is coming up, and let's just watch the elephants attack safari in a Jeep. I haven't seen this yet. Now, you can't see this, I'm sure, but right here there's a little window up on the top of my display, and it says cast. So what I'm going to do is I'm essentially going to just click this button, and it says connecting, and it's going to flip this video on YouTube directly behind me to the there we go. So running off my phone, I'll turn this up. So you are seeing the attack of the elephants, and I'm essentially using the Wi-Fi on this, which is connected through the Wi-Fi on the Chromecast plug, and I'm running the video. It's as easy as that. Now, to stop it, essentially you're going to hit that same button, that Chromecast button, and it's going to stop streaming it. So that's how it works on the phone. Let's do it on my Nexus 7, and I'm going to just I'll do Rolling Stones just for kicks and giggles here. So I'm scrolling down, and There's a lot of Rolling Stone stuff here. So let's see here. All right, let's do this one. Midnight Rambler. And again, it's coming up on my Nexus 7. And it's actually going to load it. And at any point in time now, I'm just going to go up to the cast button. And I'm going to hit cast. And it says, where do you want to send it? And I want to send it to my Gadget Professor Chromecast plug. And right now it's connecting. And we should hear it. There you go. So it's that easy. There's not much to it. And again, if you want to stop the Chromecast, just click that button again and it will stop the cast. Now, I'll switch it back to the tablet. So now it's back on my tablet. So it's that simple. Now, why would you want this? Well, obviously, if you're watching something on your smartphone or your tablet, I would much rather watch it on my big screen, and that's the whole purpose of the Chromecast. And for $35, it's a great deal. Now, here's the intricacies of it, things that they don't quite tell you. It won't work on QuickTime. So if you're going to be clever and try to go to Amazon, for example, if you have Amazon Prime, and run an Amazon movie instead of watching it on your laptop or your cell phone, you want to run it on the big screen and you want to Chromecast it, it won't work because it's not compatible with a codec called, or a player called Silverlight. It's not compatible with QuickTime. Now hopefully Google will open up and let us run those things, but right now it's they are very controlling, shall we say, as to what you can run and what you can't run. They can upgrade that software at any point in time and allow you to do that, but they don't support those drivers. So it's somewhat controlling, if you will. Now, a way around this, which is kind of clever, I think, but it took me a couple minutes to figure it out, is I've mentioned many times the Plex Server, which is totally free. So that if you were to put a Plex Server, run the Plex Server on any one of your computers, and I actually have my Plex server running out of Arizona, and I'm in Narragansett, Rhode Island right now. And I log into my Plex server, which is right here. It says it's online. It's called Disk Station. That's what I chose to call it. And now this shows what I have on my Plex server. It has nothing to do with Chromecast yet. But now if I click the Plex server, and I'm directly on it now, and I click Movies, you'll see that this is going to populate all the movies that I have. Now, you're going to see a bunch of Popeye the Sailor cartoons, and you're going to ask why. Well, I like Popeye, but once in a while I have some kids over the house to visit us, and they want to watch some cartoons. So the easiest way for me to do that is on the Plex server. So if I click, I'm just clicking this randomly, Popeye the Sailor, College of Hard Knocks, and I'm going to click play. And I'll start this from the beginning. So right now Popeye is actually going to start playing on my computer here, or at least it should. There you go. And this is coming from Arizona now, streamed to Narragansett, Rhode Island. That's all the way across the country. And here we go. And now if I go up to my computer and I click on that app that I mentioned, that Chromecast app, which is right here. Where'd she go? It's here somewhere. Google Cast. Now what will happen is that will ask me where I want to send it. I want to send it to the Gadget Professor's Chromecast plug, and bang, there it is. So that's a kind of a convoluted way around it, and if I want to go full screen, I can easily do that. I'll make this full screen here. And let's take a look. There we go. And I got to tell you, the color, the fidelity is fantastic. So let's turn this down a little bit. And let's turn the cast off. And again, to turn the cast off, you just go to Google Cast, click it, and say Stop Casting. Second you click it, it goes off, and it returns you to your regular screen. So I will stop this. And essentially, That is a workaround if you want to run movies or pictures or even audio. If you set up a Plex server, it will Chromecast it for you. So the key to it is to have the Chromecast extension put onto your Chrome, which is free and simple to do. You just go Chromecast extensions, you find it, you click add, and boom, that's it. Now, the truth of the matter is that almost anything that will run on your Chromecast, on the browser, if you see something running, it's a good chance it will run on the Chromecast stick. However, if it has QuickTime or Silverfast or a number of other codecs in it, it won't run. Now, here's another interesting workaround that I found. What I have here is a local file. This is an old Gadget Professor that I have locally on my computer. And what I did is I right-clicked on it and got the file location, and I just cut and pasted that up here into the Chrome browser window. And that will allow this Gadget Professor show to play on my computer. No big deal. Now, here's what's kind of neat. I can go over to the Chromecast. It says Google Cast. Click that. And now I'm going to click play. And now I'll click to send it to the Gadget Professor Chromecast key, if you will. And there it is behind me. So essentially what I'm able to do is to transmit Chromecast, if you will, from my desktop through the Chromecast into the TV behind me. So let me stop this here and let me cut the Chromecast off here, or the Google Cast. So we're going to stop casting essentially. And what I've done now is it's another workaround. It's something that I can actually cut and paste that's local on my computer and play it. Now keep in mind, if it's QuickTime, it's not going to play. If it's Silverlight, sometimes I call it Silverfast, if it's Silverlight, it won't play. And there's probably a whole host of other codecs that the Chromecast won't play. Now at some point in time, maybe Google will loosen up and give us an update, a firmware update that would be free, and you just plug your Chromecast stick into your computer and go to some place, and it will automatically upload the Chromecast key to have the provisions to play other codecs. Right now, they are very stingy about that and won't let you do it, but it's still a very cool device for $35. And I think I have to mention, on this particular podcast, I'm using a relatively inexpensive webcam here. It's a Logitech, I think 618C or something like that. And it really doesn't do justice to show the monitor behind me how good the quality is. Now, the things that I've observed with the Chrome stick is a lot of things play fine. It's not exactly high def, but it's certainly close enough. And on several occasions I've noticed a lip sync issue, but it's can you watch a TV show? Can you watch a movie on it? Absolutely. And I really have no complaints. For $35, I give it a 2 thumbs up. And today actually will be my last broadcast from Narragansett, Rhode Island. I am heading back to Scottsdale, Arizona this weekend, and the next time you see the Gadget Professor, hopefully I will be in our brand new studio that Wildman Mike has set up. I'm anxious to get back there and start recording again in the studio because it's a lot easier for me, a lot easier in terms of editing and not worrying about the technical stuff because I have a staff that does that there. So I'm looking forward to that. So I appreciate everyone tuning in tonight to the Gadget Professor, and we'll see everybody next week, next Thursday night on the Gadget Professor, live and in color from Scottsdale, Arizona. So long.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Baine,
Multimedia Communications, LLC.
If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.